Maisam Gigat, Sigidam Hananak, Idle No More. It's with a very happy heart and a hopeful heart that I stand here today talking to people of the land. There are different things, that are tied in with how I feel today about this movement. And the overall feeling that I get is I'm very hopeful, of our future. I always knew in my heart, that it would take the youth and the women, to straighten this country out. I come from the Nisga'a Nation, and some of you probably know that we're living in a treaty that and not only myself, but a group of us, that disagreed with it right away when it started coming forward. You see, in the Nisga'a Treaty, I heard before, like from watching the news, about what Idle No More really represents, and it involves treaties, and this is why I am here today. I do have family that are, they're busy working, even though it's family day today, some of them have to work, and I had my two of my granddaughters sitting with me earlier with their grandmother, and they were pressing us that they wanted to go swimming. It's either little killer whales, so they were really insistent on swimming today. But when I listened to that young girl singing and that message that she brought, every hair in my arms and my back stood up. It was amazing. It brought goosebumps to me. It's so beautiful, to see that. And I wish every person in the world could hear that song, so that, we could have this change, that we need so desperately. With the Nisga'a Treaty, what was surrendered was 92% of our ancestral lands. And that goes contrary to, like the future for our grandchildren. That to me, from what we're saying, is that it's gonna divide us even more in the future. Our grandchildren are gonna suffer even more. And it's time that stopped. This whole thing of, like division. We're all here together, and we're here. The other reason that I'm so supportive of this, is the earth. Through my journey, as carrying this hereditary name, with the endeavors that I've witnessed and endured, I went on a vision quest one time when I was living over in Haida, Hawaii. And I kid you not, I seen Mother Earth's pulsation, of the earth when I came out of the sweat lodge. And when this process of the treaty started, becoming more aware, when we started being more aware of what was going to happen, is that, this elder from the Squamish phoned me up, and she says, how could you sell something that is alive? How can you sell something that is of spirit? And I've witnessed quite many things, especially in the past 12 years with our people in the NAS, and how they've been put through even more deprivation than ever. There's a handful of our people, that are benefiting from this piece of paper. But I really think that, the main people have been forgotten, the people that live off the land. I feel very, very inspired, with all the things I've heard today. I heard many awesome things, beautiful things. And when I leave here today, feeling, so connected with all of you, that this is not just a First Nations thing, it's all of us, Through my travels, I heard this one elder saying, that about our human race, that we will find our true togetherness once we all start joining in a circle. And the day has come, from what I'm seeing, across Canada. And not only Canada, I see it happening in Australia and Hawaii, like this idle no more, it's been like told to us by different things, of vision, that, like through the Bible, I was brought up by my parents who read the Bible, went to church, and I was told different stories, of what's going to happen in the future. And if the government keeps up, like where they're going with Mother Earth, there's not going to be very much left for the young ones, that are going to be living after us. And I stand here, like I said, very hopeful and uplifted. There was a beautiful walk we had, although it was rather, like windy and rainy, but it was awesome, to wash my blanket for a while in this weather. I don't want to say, take too much of your time, but other than, before I leave, I want to say I'm totally with this movement, of I Don't Know More. I've been so uplifted, and so focused, on what's going on with especially our Nisga'a people. And for further information, it's not that, we've been sitting idle. Some of you probably seen Nisga'a Balada, like in Vancouver, he was on TV, we saw it on the news, she's actually part of the, like the matriarch that spearheaded this court case that we're in. And as pointed, like just to let you know, that we've been in the appeal courts for the past 12 years since the treaty's been passed. We tried to stop the treaty before it was signed, and in the past 12 years to date, we've been in the court for the appeal court for roughly 27 times. That's how much they're trying to get rid of this, to correct their mistake that they made, And it's, we're not going to stop until we get the title back to that recognized title to our land. But it is for the future of our children that would totally give them freedom, and the strength, and the pride that they need, in order to live on the earth. I'm very happy to be here today. And before I leave, and before I sit down, I want to sing a song, that I learned, that has a lot to do with gratitude. And my gratitude today is for all of you, especially the young people that are here that are aware now of what we need to do, as people of this land. And it's in our language, the Nisga'a language. It translates to thank you, God, for all of you. Ayak si ning sumogit ashchum lachan. Ayak yak sining sumo ogit achum lacham. O yak sining sumo git achum lacham. O yak sining sumo git achum lacham. O yak sining sumo git achum lacham. Kulkai asakun, asama sakun. O yak sining